My son found this in the backyard yesterday, and the day before he found one that was slightly bigger. And if you don't know what this is, and you see one of these in your backyard and you live in the western United States, either like Utah, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, anywhere in the western United States and British Columbia, you don't want to kill this. This is a Great Basin Gopher Snake. They're very beneficial and they are non-venomous. That means if they bite you, nothing happens. Maybe you'll get a little infection if you don't clean it out. Now, a rattlesnake, on the other hand, that looks similar to this, is venomous. A lot of people will say poisonous. Well, there's no such thing as a poisonous snake because you can eat rattlesnake meat, and a lot of people do. If you eat it and it makes you sick or you die, that's poison, like a poison arrow frog. But snakes are either venomous or non-venomous. And when I saw this in the yard, I knew exactly what it was, a Great Basin Gopher Snake. This is a hatchling. It's about 14 inches long, and it probably hatched out yesterday or the day before because it's really tiny, and the one before it was much bigger, had a much bigger head. Now, one way to tell, and you don't want to get close to a snake. If you're not sure if it's venomous or not, you don't want to get your face down there because baby rattlesnakes will bite you, and they don't know any better, so they'll use all their venom. And venomous snakes are usually really aggressive. But one way to tell from a distance is, you see how the snake's head is pretty much slender with its body? Venomous snakes will have a wide wedge-shaped head. And now the Great Basin Gopher will mimic rattlesnakes. They'll flatten their heads out and they'll rattle their tails in dry brush or grass to mimic a rattle. But these also are called bull snakes or blow snakes because they will hiss. And this one hissed when I found it on the patio, when Sean found it and I went over to pick it up. But they have a round pupil, and that's not necessarily a good way to tell venomous or not, because venomous snakes have a cat eye, a slit. But then also pythons and boas have slits, but they're not native here, although they're invasive to Florida now. But you can't tell this one has a round pupil like a person up close. You don't want to get that close to an unknown snake. But Great Basin Gopher Snakes in Utah are not protected. You are allowed to collect a few to keep. So the Department of Wildlife Resources has a few laws on the books regarding these. You're not allowed to capture them and sell them. The one I caught the other day, I released it up in the mountains on a sunny slope to the west, so it'd have warmth from the rocks, and I'm going to do the same with this one. Now this little baby, I think I told you it's about 14 inches long. These will grow between 4 and 7 feet. And average ones are about 4.5, 5 feet long. And those are the ones we found in the wild I've seen before. About 5 feet. They get about, probably about this big around in their midsection. And their heads will get quite bigger. A little bit bigger than this little guy. But they're completely harmless to people. Very beneficial for people. We have mice in the backyard. They're tunneling. I've been capturing them. So probably the female laid eggs here because of the mice population right behind the house here in the field. And in fact, Zeus caught a mouse just a little bit ago, and he's out there patrolling. He doesn't have one. But I don't want these guys left in the yard because a lawnmower could get them, the cats could get them, other neighborhood cats that roam could get them. Zeus and Phoebe don't roam unless I'm with them. But these guys are very beneficial for keeping down the rodent population. And if you've been watching the news lately, people have been catching hantavirus from rodents in Yosemite, and a couple people have died. And it happened back in the 90s in, I think, Arizona, New Mexico. A little windy out here, so I hope you can hear me. I'm outside. So these snakes are really beneficial for keeping down the rodent population that spreads deadly diseases to people. So let me show you what this guy eats. I got a little treat here for him. I wanted to give him some food before I set him free because he's so tiny. So let's see if he'll eat for us. Hopefully he's not shy. And they do eat mice and all kinds of little insects and vertebrates, things like that when they're tiny. Come here, guy, don't run off. Oh, come on, fall out of the bag. There we go. Let's see if this guy will eat for us. They do eat live prey, that's what they prefer. And he's probably more panicked than anything. He just wants a place to hide. They are kind of bashful. He may not eat in the open. He may not recognize this prey. So let's see what he does. Zeus, stay down. Sometimes you can tap them in the face with the prey. You just got to be careful not to get yourself bit. Hi, Zeus. Zeus, go down. Go down. I've hand-fed snakes before, pythons and boas, so I'm used to doing this. It's not a big deal. But this guy may not want to eat. He's starting to panic. Now the other way you can get them to eat is by putting them in a bag. Alright, so I put the snake in the bag here. I don't know if he'll do anything. Phoebe, leave him alone. Leave the snake alone, Phoebe. Sometimes with shy snakes you can put them in a bag with their prey and they'll eat. Oh, I think he got it. He's got it. Okay. If you can see that, Phoebe, no. No, Phoebe. No. Oh, the mouse is squeaking. That's bringing Zeus and Phoebe. And the mouse is peeing all over the place. And if you can see it, the constrictor's got it head first, Phoebe. They will always grab them head first. And Great Basin gophers are kind of grab prey constrictors. I'm messing up because I got Phoebe here. They will usually grab their prey by the face to suffocate them and then constrict them somewhat. This guy's kind of small, so he might not do that. I'd like to get him out of the bag to show you, but Phoebe's here. Move. Move. No. No. So he's just grabbing this one whole and he's not even going to kill it. He's going to eat it alive, it looks like. No. No. That's why you got to stick him in the bag, because he was shy. Because this simulates being in the bag as being in a tunnel underground where he's hunting mice. He feels more secure. So he suffocated this one, it looks like. And now it's still alive. But he's grabbing it by the head and taking it down head first. No. 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 I'm just telling Phoebe to stay back if you are wondering why I'm saying no. Phoebe, stay back. No, Phoebe. So this is a wild snake, but he doesn't know any better. So he's not panicking because I'm here. Phoebe, get back. See, I can mess with him and he's not panicking because he's a baby snake and he doesn't know any better. But this is what he would do. These Great Basin gophers would go down tunnels that mice have made, gophers have made, and they find the babies when they're little snakes, and that's what they eat. And then, of course, as they get bigger, they move on to larger prey. So if you see a Great Basin gopher, he is your buddy. They will help keep the rodent population down that can spread disease. And you need to check with your local jurisdiction as to whether they're protected and whether you can handle them, because there are laws that prevent people from even harassing them. But in Utah it is legal to collect these, to have a few specimens in your possession. But after this guy eats, I'm going to take him up and release him on a western facing slope so that he can digest his meal in warmth. Because snakes are ectothermic, which means they cannot regulate their body temperature internally like people, like mammals. So snakes need to move from the sun to the shade to regulate their temperature so they don't freeze or overheat. And that is also why snakes will hibernate when it's colder out. And that's why they're born June, or hatched. These guys are hatched from eggs from June to August, because that's the optimal time for them to get warmth and find their prey, which is also out there being born. So he's made short work of that baby mouse, swallows it whole. They digest everything. It all, fur, bones, everything. It'll come out the other end. And he doesn't have a bladder. Snakes don't have bladders. They have, it kind of comes out in a whitish ball. Their urine, what you want to call their urine, comes out kind of like in a paste. And then they have their feces come out just looking like anyone else's, like any other animals. And so he's digested that. That's a hatchling Great Basin Gopher Snake. And now he's earned his freedom. So we will release him in the mountains. Thank you for watching.